Better send this link to my folks.
CharCole Sports Show, the hottest names and the hottest takes.
Tune in every Wednesday from 6 to 7 p.m. where Charlie Prien and Cole Larsch highlight prep sports, college sports, coyote athletics, and professional sports. We would love to hear your questions for us too. The phone lines are always open.
Tune in to the CharCole Sports Show each
we had a
Wednesday
phone call, we
from
wouldn't be able
6
to
to
get him
7
through,
p.m. to hear the hottest takes
figure it
on
out.
KAOR Vermilion.
You heard that right. It is Wednesday, September the 10th, 2025. We appreciate you for tuning in to the CharCole Sports Show on this, what has been an interesting day so far. We're going to try to keep this as much sports as possible here in the CharCole Sports Show today. First up, as always, we've got an update of USD athletics, where, to quote myself, the football team continues to lose and the volleyball and soccer teams continue to win. We'll get more on that in a little bit. Then it's a candid reaction to the Vikings and their win over the Bears on Monday. Then a brief high school football update where there's some interesting games going on last week. As always, we wrap up with our picks of the week. Feel free to call in at any time, 605-658-6813. We'll always answer your phone calls. Buckle in because the CharCole Sports Show starts right now.
And welcome back to the CharCole Sports Show. This is episode 2, season 3. And as always, we're live on our YouTube channel as well as the KAOR airwaves on 91.1 Vermilion FM. 9 a.m. Cole. Nice to be on the FM airwaves this year. But anyways, so we are back in the saddle for our second episode of the year. Excited to talk a little bit more about the NFL last week. After the show last week, I looked at Cole on the way out of here. I said, if we wanted to, we could have made that a 4-hour show. If we wanted to go into depth about certain topics we touched on, amongst other things that kind of came up throughout the show. So much going on, so much to talk about. And we're happy to be in the studio today. The KAOR studio here in Vermilion. Cole, you mentioned it a little bit in the intro. Kind of been a weird day, specifically in the United States. Kind of a weird day. We don't really like to get too off the sports scene here, but just would like to send our condolences to the Charlie Kirk family and all of those involved in Utah today, as well as the Colorado situation as well. So weird times, terrible times in America. And we appreciate you all, and we love you all. Wish you the very best, and kind of want to let you all know that we definitely are against that type of violence. We don't believe that type of violence has any type of meaning, reasoning, and such like that. In the best way to put it, we disagree with the actions that took place in Utah today. We believe that we were the first ones to speak about it on KAOR today, but yes, Charlie Kirk dead in Utah today. Unfortunate, and we wish the best to his family. Cole, anything to add?
No, I think you nailed it. I think you put it exactly how it needed to go. I think so. Yeah, that's all I got. I mean, I wholeheartedly agree.
We try not to get too political, and I think that's about as far as we will go in. So,
yes, I do believe so. I believe that's how it's going to go. Why not a flawless transition into the South Dakota Coyote sports scene, where, boy, Saturday was rough. A 20-13 loss against Lamar University in Beaumont, Texas. The South Dakota Coyotes have not won in the state of Texas since in over 100 years.
Yes.
So just one of those games where nothing went right, except for the first couple of drives. Like you said, you see it on your screen right now, 10 points in the first quarter. It was rough
for sure,
and a lot of big question marks that I think through every like press conference or questionnaire I've seen so far, my questions really haven't been answered, which is interesting. We talked about this a little bit earlier, but Charles Pierre Jr., where was he at second half? Unless I'm missing something, I have not heard anything about that. So
word, a few rumors. Rumor 1, injury. Rumor 2, a fumble, which I don't know if that actually is true. And rumor number 3, he just pulled him based off of how the game was going.
So all of those so far, what I'm hearing is my question's not answered.
No, not at all. And quickly to go back to your first point before you brought up the football game, if you do want to, if you're listening on KAOR here on 91.1 in Vermilion or on the TuneIn app, you can find us on YouTube. Look up the CharCole Pod on YouTube. That's CharCole space pod on YouTube. You can find our live stream to see updated graphics as we talk, as well as our own faces as we got beautified, had a makeup artist come in today. Anyways,
we got faces for radio.
We got faces for radio. Going back to football, though, a couple things stuck out to me this game. kind of want to get your thoughts on it. We spoke a little bit about it. We talked a little bit during the game, and we watched the end of it together. To begin the game, we looked excellent.
Yeah.
We looked excellent, Cole. At 0-2 as it's on your screen right now. Coyote football hasn't looked like this in a long time, since before I started going to school here. How did things fall apart? And my question for you, question number one is, how do you feel about Aiden Bauman, specifically in quarters 2 through 4?
Well, it just seems like he hasn't hit a groove. I know it's early in the year, and he had a blowout against Iowa State. So I mean, it's hard to get a groove in a game where you come back home, you have really no receivers yet that you're quite familiar with in game scenarios, and you lose by 50 points. So, I mean, that really doesn't help you either. But it just seemed like there's been a lot of I don't even want to say like bad throws, but like just miscues that we haven't seen from him in years. I just I don't know. It's an interesting scenario because it just seems like you take those first drives, we're like, okay, yep, here we go. Lamar answers right back. Okay, it's going to be a back and forth gunfight kind of game. Let's just keep on moving the ball. Let's keep on scoring, and then it just nothing happened after that.
No.
And then your defense gave you a lot of chances. The defense, Lamar scored some solid drives. And then all of a sudden, like, we're just like, okay, our defense gave us the ball back and we're in position. And we went nowhere. So I don't know. He's not clicking on all cylinders, which is scary because this is a Northern Colorado team that's coming in this weekend. We'll get to this in a little bit, that they played a very close game last week against a team that is pretty solid. So it's gonna be a little interesting.
For sure. Wanted to get one quick note and then ask you another question after I get the defensive statistics up. There we go. Wade Abrams ejected in the game. He will be out the first half of Saturday's ball game. How much of that do you think played a factor on the defense and how they went about things, as well as what were your thoughts on the secondary? I mean, it's not like they scored a ton on us, but it's Lamar. They scored 20 points on us. How much of that went into field position? But again, how big is not having Wade Abrams for the first half of this ball game on Saturday?
It's going to be interesting because it was ejected late in the third quarter, if my memory serves me correctly. So he was there for a majority of the game. But this is also a Lamar team that we got to remember now. They are better than we thought coming in. We're like, okay, it's going to be Lamar. We're going to beat them by 30. We still should have beat them by 10 plus, 14 plus, 18 points, somewhere in there. But this is they look solid. They got possession of the ball. You're in a couple of really big spots, really good field position. And then they just controlled it, went at their own pace. Again, they're yards leaders. I mean, they had hardly any yards. If I can get there, they had 65 total passing yards, 204 total, but they had 63 offensive plays compared to our 49. They just got the ball and they controlled it for so long. They had the ball for 33 and a half minutes. They got conversion when they needed them. They were 3 for 3 on fourth down conversion. That's just a killer. Well, as a defense, there's not much you can do there. That's just Lamar basically saying, "Yep, here's what we're gonna do. Try to stop us." And I don't know. I thought our defense looked solid. I just think the biggest question marks right now is our offense, which is crazy because we have the best returning running back in the Missouri Valley Conference.
And he wasn't playing.
He didn't play a snap in the second half.
I wish I could get the graphic up, but I will walk you through it. Aiden Bauman, 10 for 21, 108 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception, and a long of 21. So 1/5 of his yards came on 1 play and took 1 sack in the ball game. I don't want to be that guy. I don't want this into ESPN morning show. But if the third quarter rolls along on Saturday and we're down more than 3 scores to Northern Colorado, who do we see at quarterback at the
It's still bad.
after the half.
It's got to be.
You don't want to have that conversation yet? Or
No, I
can
mean,
we not have that conversation yet? Or where are we? How far are we away from having that conversation? I'm going to pull up the 3 deep here in a second, just to kind of give folks listening an idea of what that looks
well, it's
like.
Cremascoli is second,
So we'd see Nevin.
if I remember correctly. I have to go back and actually look, but I would imagine that's who we. I mean, I don't. It's still too early.
I'm looking here.
He's
But
got. He's
you
got.
gotta-
He's
you
got
have-
a
you
new
have to have
receiving.
the conversation.
I know you have to. You got a new receiving core, a semi-new, pretty much all new offensive lines. I got on the YouTube stream their total stats for everybody offensively for both teams. I don't think you can quite. I don't know if you can quite have that conversation yet. I don't know.
It does say on the two deep that the backup is Nevin Cremascoli.
Yep.
Nevin, a junior now, has not started a game in his career. You're saying that in no circumstance ever we couldn't give Nevin a chance back there? Now, do we need to throw the ball and be effective? Yes, but do we need to fling it out West Coast offense? There's a difference between what we're trying to do.
We got to remember this now. This is the same backup quarterback that when Bauman got rocked and had to miss a play, fumbled the snap at SDSU, which ended up backing our field goal about 6 yards, and we missed the field goal to win the game.
Yeah.
So, again, younger guy, hasn't really played much. He's been more of a running type of guy.
Right.
I don't know.
I
just don't think – I don't – I mean, and, of course, I'm going to pull up a couple chats here while we got a chance as well as we go on to stream on the YouTube side of things. You can call in, give us your thoughts, 605-658-6813, or just put it in the YouTube chat. I'll pull it up on the stream. I just don't think we can have that conversation yet. Here's the deal. There's a difference if, say, we're down, let's just throw out a number, call it 21 points a half, okay? How's our offense looked? Has it been all 3 and outs? Has it been our run plays getting blown up and we're passing on 3rd and 15?
Or has it been penalties?
Or has it been penalties backing us up?
Turnovers?
Or has it been missed passes? There's a big difference between
11 missed passes, Cole. What does 4 more completed passes in that game look like?
It's night and day. But there wasn't. You can't call all 11 missed passes.
Right.
One of the interceptions also was not his fault. His interception was tipped by the receiver and just fell into the breadbasket. So it's one of those deals where maybe the ball's not rolling on our side. It's just, I don't think you can have that conversation. If he's thrown 4 pick sixes in the first half, sure. But that's not going to happen.
Okay, so
he's going to show some poise. He's going to go back into the Dakota Dome.
He's at home too.
At home, helps. Right? Not in the white uniform. Shout out Northern Colorado for that, ruining the whiteout. Which, anyway, yeah, I don't think we can have that conversation. I just don't think so. Now,
what? Okay,
if we lose by 30 points next Wednesday, I'll be all for it. So that's 0-3. You're not making.
So that's where you draw the line. That was my question. Where do you draw the line to at least have the conversation?
A bad loss this week, absolutely. But if it's a bad loss because of the defense, which I don't think we're really going to see, because so far our defense looks solid.
Yes.
I mean,
besides the defensive backs, if the defensive backs, as they see more real reps,
right,
it'll be different.
Again, it's a brand new team this year, for a majority of it. A lot of young guys, a lot of transfers. Anyway. But if it's a bad loss because the offense could not get anywhere this week, absolutely. Because 0-3, you're not making the playoffs.
No.
I don't care. But here's the deal: if you go 0-3 and sweep the Valley, which is not going to, I mean, if that happens, I will. Whatever. You're not going to lose to Lamar and Northern Colorado and then sweep the Valley. Anyway,
I want folks watching. Or listening and watching to make note of this. Does Nevin Cremascoli get a few Wildcat / snaps in general on Saturday? Because I believe his snap count was 0. It would say that he had a snap on the official box score.
Yeah, on the participation.
Right.
Yeah.
So does Nevin get more than 0.5 snaps on Saturday?
I mean, this is one thing that really confuses me from year to year. I get the whole coaching regime change and everything like that, but Cremascoli was kind of a key piece to our offense
last year.
last
Specifically,
year.
yeah.
You're right. You get him in tough situations where all of a sudden you bring in your second quarterback and you're just like, okay, we obviously know he's going to run the ball, but you've got Tice and they brought in LJ Phillips to lead block for him. Like you're averaging 4 yards a carry at one point. And then we get to this year and he's seen the field. Now, again, situations are different and things like that. But I just don't see how from year to year he goes from getting 2 or 3 rushes a game in like the wildcat formation, or I mean, not a true wildcat, but you get what I mean, a more running quarterback to now he's just not a part of this offense. I don't know. I mean,
There's a few things we could break down with this,
well, of course.
and how much of it has to do with is it first year offensive coordinator? Because I know Vitsum's the co-offensive coordinator. I don't remember the name of our actual offensive coordinator. I'm going to get it up. Coach is Billy Kirch's defense coordinator. Offensive coordinator is Tim Morrison.
Yep.
I believe Tim Morrison's first year OC. So it's not like things should just click instantly for the guy. I mean, it might take a little time to find out what his MO is, but you're also adapting to the team whose talent you acquired, via another, sort of scheme. What Bob was putting together might be different than what Tim wants to put together over the next few years. But what's this going to look like against Valley teams is my big thing. What does our tackling look like against Valley teams?
Boy, what we've seen so far this season, not good. We might beat Murray State.
Right. So that's one thing that I think folks need to maybe give Tim a bit of a break with. But those folks are going to be drawing things up this week, and putting the work in. We live next to the Dakota Dome. For those who, I guess, want to find our house, doxed us. We live next to the Dakota Dome, and I don't think I have seen. We have players that live in our complex as well. I don't think I've seen their vehicles at our facility. They've been over at the dome and their facility all week.
Yeah.
I mean all week, and I'm not exaggerating. This
Yeah.
morning, I watched Adrian Hawkins walk over to the dome.
Yep.
And which good. But his car was over there like all of Sunday. I know that Big Krim was over there with him too. They have been in the lab this week. So I hope they come out. Social media has been terrible for the Yotes, to be honest. And a lot of the Yotes fans are finally expressing their disappointment, which is good. You have to have that.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't mind seeing come out, step on their throats, end the narrative, get out of there Sunday with a big win. That would shut a lot of people up.
Awesome. That'd be awesome.
I'm hoping that we can make that thing happen. And let's get to that comment because I think that kind of ties in with what we're at right now.
Yeah, I pulled up earlier, but shout out Mr. Brightside, longtime viewer, many-time chatter as well. Because for everybody listening on the radio waves, communication with the new receivers and maybe lines seems to be off. And I think that's just sometimes what you're going to get with the newer squads that haven't had enough time to mesh yet. But I agree. It just seems like there's not much. Well, like we kind of talked about with Thayer now a week and a day ago, it just seems like Bauman hasn't quite made that connection yet that he had with Carter Bell. That's like Kirk Cousins and Adam Thielen. Like he was the guy. Like we are in trouble. I know that he's going to be in this exact spot. Don't have that guy yet. So
who I thought it was going to be coming into everything? I thought it was going to be Dallas Holmes.
Yeah.
6'5", 250-pound senior tight end. Jay Elson was hyping him up. Everyone was hyping him up this offseason, saying this guy's going to be a dude. Kind of took over Zach Woody and Jesse Miller's spot coming in, transferring in. I don't remember exactly where. I think it was Kane. Don't quote me on that. But the guy came in highly touted. And I want to get the box score up just so I can give myself a better idea of where things kind of stood.
Yeah, by the way, no catches for no yards.
Yeah, that's exactly where I was going to go with this. That's a guy we need to have at least 4 catches. It doesn't matter if they're checkdowns, but what it does is it keeps the linebackers honest, keeps the safeties honest, and the guy can move fast enough where if he's in open space, he can be a threat. So how do you get him involved on Saturday? How do you get Charles Pierre if he plays on Saturday? I hope he does. I mean, we haven't heard anything if he plays on Saturday or not, assuming he will. How do we get him more involved, and how do we get Aiden to be a little bit more comfortable? I think it comes down to the Dakota Dome, playing at home, on the turf. I think it just comes down to us being more confident than the other team, not necessarily talent. I think we're more talented than Lamar. I don't think anyone disagrees with that. I don't think Lamar disagrees with that. We were the more talented team. Everyone, truly, we were. Do I think we'll be more matched up against Northern Colorado than Lamar? Yes, I do. I think Northern Colorado is a better football team. So we have to come out on Saturday and present ourselves confidently. And Cole, if we don't do that, we're going to be having a tough conversation week tonight.
I'm not looking forward to that because I am, of course, a very optimistic sports fan. I always love all my teams are going to go undefeated. Like Bryce said, plenty of talent there. Just need to develop that connection. Oh, what a pass. The football team plays Northern Colorado on Saturday, 1 o'clock. Midco Sports, white out. If you're going to attend, wear your white. USD volleyball afterwards as well. Speaking of USD volleyball, let's quickly transition.
That was a marathon segment right there.
Let's quickly transition to them. They played 3 games in Storrs, Connecticut, in the top dogs challenge. They lost to UConn 3-1. Tough match. I got off to a little bit of a slow start. Colgate had a couple of big comeback sets there, 3-1. And Ball State you want to talk about, I'm going to quote our friends, the Howling Podcast, an absolute domination. That was an absolute domination. So they currently sit 4-2 with their official record overall. Big weekend for them as well inside the Dakota Dome. They are hosting the Coyote Invitational Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Thursday, they're going to host Green Bay at 7 o'clock. Will that game be here on the radio waves? I'm assuming so. I can't see why not. Military, first responders, and healthcare appreciation night. Again, that's tomorrow, 7 o'clock again, the anniversary of 9/11. Right before that game, Kansas and Florida Gulf Coast will take on at 4 o'clock. Then Kansas plays Green Bay at 4 o'clock on Friday. Again, it's basically just a 4-team round robin. And then USD will host Florida Gulf Coast on Friday at 7 o'clock inside the Sanford Couch Sports Center. Then on Saturday, Green Bay and Florida Gulf Coast will play each other 10 a.m. Myself will be the public address announcer for that game, so I get to be in the arena at about 9:30 in the morning. It's going to be a marathon day for myself. And then Saturday afternoon, 5 p.m., hosting number 17 Kansas. Whiteout, unveiling the championship banner from last season. Going to be a big game. This volleyball squad, I got complimented last night. Apparently, I know ball when it comes to volleyball in my announcing. This team is meshing really well.
Early in the season. Yeah, see, that's what
early in the year as it is.
For as early in the year as we are with the players that we brought in, I think is what's nice, especially in the time that we are with the transfer portal. And what we have on the court, we have depth too, Cole. And that's the big thing. I think if Leanne can develop some depth against these non-con opponents, that if something terrible were to happen, we have talent, on this team. And I think the Summit League maybe regretting putting the Yotes at the number 2 team in the preseason poll.
I agree. I think this is going to be a dangerous team. And of course, the Summit League schedule, that was going to be fun too. Once it starts rolling in, I think they start first week of October.
North Dakota, September 25th.
Oh, the week before D-Days. There we go. So, that's how the volleyball team's been doing so far. As I said in our intro, our football team keeps on taking losses, but our women's team keep on winning. The soccer team took on – that's not the picture I wanted. There we go. Central Michigan on Ooh, what day was
Sunday.
that? Yeah, Sunday early morning. They got the win 1-0 over Central Michigan. Scored late in that first half, went scoreless in the rest of the second half. They moved to 4-1-2 on the season. Central Michigan, that was a game that you needed to win. They have yet to score a goal this season.
Finding a way to win is
Correct.
what makes good teams good.
And it was a bit of an altered starting lineup than what we normally see from the Yotes. You could tell that they knew that this is going to be a good game to get a lot of new faces out there, try to build a little bit of camaraderie against some people that are maybe usually substitutes coming off the bench, get them a start, and that's what they did. They took care of business. Once they got that first goal, I mean, every time they substituted, it was like a hockey line change. You're bringing 5 in and 5 off. Yeah, real barn burner it was. Yes, it was. White out with the white jerseys, never forget. Yeah. I wish. Shout out Northern Colorado for that. USD Sports Update. Almost record time. Again, big weekend. Soccer plays Thursday against Northern Colorado. And then
The whole schedule up for
I don't believe they play Sunday, do they?
I can get that up in just a moment. Turn my headphones up a little bit, Larsch, by the way.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Boy, we are getting deaf. That now is cranked up to 8.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Well, my bad. I'll talk a little closer to the mic.
No, you're good.
Okay.
Still got a little ways to go. They play Sunday at Creighton.
Yes.
Then they'll play next Sunday at home. So
Sure.
Thursday against Northern Colorado, 6 o'clock. Myself will be on the call on that one on the Summit League Network. In case anybody out there wants to endure my.
You're not going to go to volleyball?
I was assigned to soccer.
Oh, man.
I go where I'm assigned. Trust me. Yeah.
Well, I'll be going to that volleyball game.
Yeah, I'll gladly announce my soccer game and then likely head right over to the.
Well, I'm
CSC.
going to take photos for the vlog, and then I'm going to stay for the whole thing. We'll see. But we got a bang tomorrow night in the NFL.
Yeah, Packers commies.
Should be good.
That'd be a big
Cole.
one. Yes, sir.
Big news for those listening on the airwaves here at 91.1.
Yep.
The show after hours tonight, the Locker Room Sports Show hosted by Ethan Ladke, is on.
Bang.
So 7 o'clock roughly is when it's supposed to start. Ethan knows it's not happening then. He's going to be in here for our last segment to help us make some picks. That's what he said. He's going to try to make it in early so we can watch us kind of end the show and maybe talk a little bit as well. So we can throw a mic on that if he shows up. And yeah, it's kind of be a talk.
We'll have to throw a mic on that and
make him
probably move you over and have him send.
Yeah. So yeah. Anyways,
as you can see back behind me, I've got the server back behind me and a wall and all of our pages with things you're not supposed to say here on the radio waves, which is also a good reminder to throw up our disclaimer. Opinions expressed in this show are not those of the radio station, the USD Media and Journalism Department, or the University of South Dakota. Simply the opinions of us, as good or bad as they might be in your eyes. You're stuck with us. Thank you for listening.
You can turn it off, but hey,
we appreciate you all that have it on. Right?
I think we've peaked at 8 viewers on this live stream.
Hey, there we go.
So hey, at least there's 8 folks watching us. I know my whole family is watching. Well, not my whole family. My mom and my dad are watching at home.
I know my mom, dad, and brother have it up on the flat screen.
We're averaging.
While they're eating, so
we're averaging at least 2.1 viewers.
Two viewers per screen.
Yeah, that's sweet. All right, Cole. Should we move on to?
I think we should.
A segment where, you know how like last year, Cole, when I said, "Hey, I think the Vikes are going to win this week," I took them. And then every week that I took them, they won. Yep. And then the one week I'm like, I don't know. I don't think I'm going to. They lost. And then I tried to go back and I screwed it all up. So now I'm sticking with my guns. Preview pick for my last pick of the week when Ethan gets here. But the Vikes find a way, Cole. And before we came to this very studio, I watched 22 and a half minutes of a guy who took the ESPN footage and threw Paul Allen over the highlights of the game.
I saw that tweet.
I
bookmarked
watched
it.
the
I haven't
entire
watched
thing.
it yet. I have not watched it yet.
It's like 720p. Don't care. Probably 25, 30 frames a second.
Yeah, who cares?
But
You're there for the audio.
it was awesome. I watched the entire thing, listened to Pete Bursic, Paul Allen on the call on KFAN, Minneapolis, St. Paul. And wow, what a treat to listen to Paul. I mean, Aikman and Buck did a good job. They're always going to be a little bit biased towards the other team is playing the Vikings. They would prefer if it was Rodgers and the Packers, but they did good. But I just love listening.
I think honestly they did.
I think they did too.
That's the best I've heard them in a while.
Well, Cole made a point to me. For those of you that didn't watch, the Vikings got the ball back with 2:02 left. We're going to break down this game in a minute, but I just want to bring up one point, giving props to Aikman and Cole made the point of it as well. With 2:02 left, the Vikings were to get the ball back. The Bears were about to kick it off, and Aikman makes the point that says, "Hey, the Bears need to either kick this thing out of bounds, take the penalty, or kick it out of the back of the end zone. If you give this guy a chance to return, it was supposed to be Miles Price, but they kicked it to the opposite side to Ty Chandler. Well, turns out that Ben Johnson told Cairo Santos to kick it out of the back of the end zone, and he just could not. He didn't have a big enough leg to do it.
Nice.
So
So
Cairo Santos kicks it to Ty Chandler, and Joe Buck says, hey, he needs to take this out because it'll burn the 2-minute warning, which would have given the Bears an extra 40 seconds rather than the 15 that they got to end the game.
Yep.
Joe Buck actually made sense. I enjoyed that.
Well, this is one of the better things I saw in moving Twitter yesterday. I've avoided Twitter for the most part today.
Yeah, I think I might have to turn noties off
for obvious reasons. But the thing is, you either kick it out of bounds, or there's a clip of Cairo Santos when he was with the Steelers, I believe. Now, have people listening to this won't exactly get what I mean, but the video of him trying to onside it, but he's like trying to go right, but he fakes it and he's trying to kick it left.
In his moment, yes.
And he kicks it off of his own calf and it goes like 1 yard. That's an illegal procedure. No time runs off the clock and they get it at the 35 or the 40-yard line. So all he had to do was literally just tap the ball forward and they saved themselves the 2-minute warning. Shout out the Bears. I put Bryce's comment up earlier. He said, well, time for me to leave.
I love it.
Yeah. I mean, listen, the Vikings looked terrible.
They did.
And the Bears looked great. And then the end of the third quarter happened. The Bears hadn't looked good for 2 quarters except for their defense because our offense looked terrible. And then the Vikings scored 21 points.
So listening to Kevin O'Connell, he got on with he got on with Paul Allen yesterday in X's and O's, like early in the morning. Kevin said he hadn't slept. Okay.
Jeepers.
He gets on with Paul and they talk about a bunch of random things. And Kevin was a little bit chatty, more than usual. And Paul asked him some questions. And he said that, listen to this, Cole. He said that, I don't remember where I was going with this point. I just totally lost my train of thought. Anyways.
Talk about X's and O's.
Yeah, I know where I was. Something about Kevin talking to Justin or JJ. But anyways, he was proud of the kid. And there was a point in the game where Kevin just said, hey, you know what? It can't get much worse than this. And at halftime, Kevin went up to JJ and said, hey, I have full confidence that you're going to win this game for us. Going into that third and fourth quarter, I think the defense finally clicked. And now I remember my point. Now I remember what I was going to say. I was just yapping. Kevin said that he had an idea what Dennis Allen's tendencies were, the defensive coordinator for the Bears. He had an idea. They kind of knew things. They had done a ton of research and what he likes to do, and they go to the game, and Dennis and that's what Kevin said in the pregame, and you and I are listening to. There's no rules. You can do whatever you want to do in week one. That's the beauty of the game. Well, Dennis Allen was doing some uncharacteristic stuff. 4-man rushes were getting home for the Bears, and then when you go to the offensive side. That's awesome. Mr. Brightside said, I went back and watched the fourth quarter scores again. They all happened as a result of a backup playing due to an injury. And I can kind of play the other side of that. You know, if Darisaw is playing and Justin School is sitting on the sideline,
or sitting not on the team,
right? I can't. We have one play that's a free touchdown. The one play that we did a naked bootleg was also a touchdown.
Yeah.
And that Montez Sweat kind of disrupted. Harrison Smith wasn't out there. How much does that have to do with the secondary? Maybe. And then Cashman goes down with a hamstring. So, yeah, I mean, everybody's banged up in a way, but I just think some of it came down to schemes finally figuring out who is doing what, you know, what are we going to see, and maybe getting a little bit of a retention of, hey, I know what's happening now. I know what to look for, rather than we're going into this completely blind. But, you know, Ben Johnson does Ben Johnson stuff, and he calls that touchdown to Roma Doomsday at that 2:02 mark. That touchdown was a thing of beauty. Do you remember that? It was a fake handoff, fake pitch, and then he throws it to the end zone to Roma Doomsday.
Yeah.
He ran the exact play last year.
Really?
The exact play down to the formation and to the side. And he had that play scripted. It was something that they worked on. Beautiful play, by the way.
Yeah, it was.
Something of beauty. But no, it's just things like that, Cole. It's so tough to kind of get an idea of what a team's going to do coming into week one. And now with some film moving forward, I feel a little bit more confident with both the Bears and the Vikings of what they can do moving forward. I think the Bears are a good football team.
I agree. Week one overreaction here coming up, just to warn you guys. NFC North standings predictions at the end of the season. Packers, Vikes, Bears, Lions. The Lions looked like dirt.
I think the Bears beat them this week.
I think so too.
I mean, it's not something I put money on.
No. I also didn't choose them for my picks of the week, but I don't know. I will say, even with the injuries, the Bears' defense looked better than I thought they were going to look. I agree.
If you guys got good cornerbacks out there,
yeah,
you guys can play man coverage and just let your D-line go cook. I like what they got going on defensively. And offensively, Caleb Williams is ridiculously just gifted. He knows how to get out of a pocket.
Yeah. He looks, from what I remember of him last season to now, he looks completely different. So I gotta give him some credit. I usually give people that both played at USC and are now playing for the Chicago Bears a lot of credit most of the time, but he looks solid.
No, you can't diss the guy.
No, I mean, I'm still going to, because of course he still plays for the Bears. But like his ability, he looked a lot faster. Right? Yeah, I mean, his ability to just, I mean, there were so many times in that first half where the rush got there, and all of a sudden he is just by the sideline. I was like, I mean, I don't know if that's more of his pocket presence, because his big knock last year was he held onto the ball too long. But I think we look past that. It wasn't that he held onto the ball too long, and that he stood there and tried staying in the pocket. And I don't think he's going to be a more mobile guy. I'm not going to say like a Lamar Jackson type year, but he's going to be more of a Lamar Jackson type runner out of the pocket, if you know what I mean.
He's
a taller Kyler Murray.
He's quick horizontally,
yeah,
and laterally, but horizontally he can get downfield in a hurry.
And he did,
and it's something
multiple times.
He made Ivan Pace look like he was running in mud, and tore Blake Cashman's hamstring in the process on one play.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm not saying Blake Cashman's a very fast dude, but the guy was a playmaker last year. It changed the game absolutely for the Vikings. Cole, we got 6:40 here. Do you want to talk NFL for a bit and then get on to high school football? We can talk high school football with Ethan here in a little bit. We can talk about the NFL, what happened last week, scores, bits and points.
We can do a couple scores from across the league last week. Absolutely. All right, let me pull up some scores.
I'm only going to stop you if I have something to say.
Yeah,
I mean, we can talk about this for an hour, but
easily. Thursday night, Eagles Cowboys. What a disappointing second half.
Spit on you.
Shout out the what?
I'm going to spit on you is what I said.
Oh, I completely missed that. That's on me.
It's all good.
Eagles beat the Cowboys 24-20. What an electric first half and such a disappointing second half. Other than that, not much. Friday, the Chargers beat the Chiefs 27-21. in which I thought was a
Pause. Pause.
well-produced game considering it's just on YouTube.
Talk,
But I was told it was a NBC production.
talk about the defensive line for the Chargers.
Yeah.
I mean, just a great group.
I agree. We head into the Monday noon slate. The Commanders beat the Giants 21-6. Steelers beat the Jets in what was a runaway pick for game of the week early in the noon slate before the Sunday night game. 34 to 32. Steelers
That didn't
won.
even make top 3 probably.
Yeah, I mean that was a banger. And then we got to the afternoon slate. The Cardinals beat the Saints 20-13. Raiders beat the Patriots 20-13. Jags beat the Panthers 26-10. The Colts honoring
Irsay.
there we go. Yep.
Jim Irsay.
That's what I was going to say. That's what I was trying to think of.
Cam Bynum goes crazy.
33-8. Bengals beat the Browns in an absolutely disgusting game, 17-16.
It's like none of the teams wanted to win the
Dude,
game.
I think they were both trying to lose. I think all 22 guys except for maybe Burrow and Flacco were trying to lose.
The Chiefs finished 2 in the division, in my opinion. Could finish 1. I think the Chargers are legit. And getting past the Chiefs already is big. But if you look at the Chargers schedule.
Here's the deal. That game for the Chargers counts as a road division win. That's screwed up. Yeah, we can't be doing that.
No, the Arrowhead is so tough too.
I am all for the Chargers playing the Chiefs, but you cannot count that game as if they were playing at Arrowhead. I mean, what are we doing on that side of things?
I know we don't have
a lot of time. It was a very entertaining game, but
I know we don't have a lot of time. I want to do something really quick.
What's that?
Okay, I'm going to talk about the rest of count on your fingers here.
Okay.
Chargers schedule the rest of the year.
Okay.
They play the Raiders.
Win.
Broncos.
Close one.
I chalked that up to a loss.
Yeah.
Giants.
Win.
Commanders.
Loss.
Chargers. Or Dolphins.
Win.
Colts.
Win.
Vikings.
Win.
Titans.
Win.
Steelers.
Loss.
Jags.
Win.
Raiders again.
Win again.
Raiders offensive line's pitiful. They got to make a trade. Eagles.
Loss.
Chiefs again.
At home.
Win. Cowboys.
Win.
Texans.
Win.
Broncos.
Did I have them winning the first one? So loss. So I got them 12-5.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, I think that's good because I think you split. I think you split against the Chiefs.
So they win that division.
No, you don't. No, you don't split against. You split against the Broncos.
Split against the Broncos. You beat the Raiders twice.
And you technically won the first conference matchup against the Chiefs. You beat them the second time.
I think they beat the Chiefs twice.
I think so too.
Anyways, that's the Chiefs.
Danny Dimes are not bringing the Colts to the playoffs.
KFAN is very high on the Chargers this year, by the way. Very high on the Chargers.
Well, yeah.
And the Rams, weirdly enough. Both LA teams. Cole.
Yeah, interesting.
Should we continue?
Yes, we shall.
Down on the list.
Bucks beat the Falcons 23-20. Honestly, a fun game to watch.
It was.
Niners beat the Seahawks 17-13. Back and forth. I knew it was going to be close.
What do you call it? A rock fight.
Yeah, right. Broncos beat the Titans 20-12. Another point, we don't have nearly enough time to get into this.
Cam Ward looked good.
Why do you not kick the field goal to go up 11? Why? It doesn't make sense. Let's heave a Hail Mary ball with what was a minute and a half left in the game? Or no, it was like 3 minutes because then they got the ball back on the 3 and out and just kneeled it. What are you, Sean Payton? Oh my, Sean Payton's an idiot.
Is there any other reason you needed to go up 11, Cole?
No.
Oh, that was just Ben.
Yeah, I already had the 7.5. I was good. But listen, why do you not kick that field goal? There's no analytical approach that says on 4th and 12 from the 30-yard line, let's heave it to the end zone. Anyway, Packers beat the Lions 27-13. Lions looked bad. Packers looked really good.
Dan Campbell may not beat the allegations this year.
And then the Bills beat the Ravens 41-40. Bills were down 15 with 6 minutes left.
Game of the year right now.
I agree.
So far.
And then Monday, Vikings beat the Bears 27-24.
number 2 on the list. Cole,
I don't think that's
quickly.
number 2 in the games of the week.
Number 3 then?
I think it's 3.
Okay.
I think it's Bills,
Steelers, Jets.
Bills, Steelers, Jets, and the Vikings.
Okay. Cole, quickly this week. NFL.
Okay, speed round. Ready?
Speed round.
Here we go. Thursday, banger.
Banger.
Commies Packers at Lambeau.
We're gonna learn a lot about what those two teams have to bring.
Both
Both playoff teams.
I have this one being a scoring game.
I think it has to be.
Yeah. Jaden Daniels needs a little bit of a better game this week. He did not play very well against the Giants, but they're the Giants. Okay. Noon slate, Sunday. Browns, Ravens. Ravens by a mile. Jags, Bengals at Cincy.
I don't know.
I think Bengals are 2-0. Giants, Cowboys. The Giants will beat them by 2 touchdowns.
We need to get a button that sounds like.
I'm sure we've got one on here. Bears, Lions. Detroit is favored by 6 points.
I don't like that.
I like the Bears.
At least by, I mean, take the +6.
That's what I'm thinking. Patriots, Dolphins.
See, people were high on the Dolphins after last week. Really?
And they're high on the Patriots all year.
Yeah.
I don't know. Niners, Saints. Niners are somehow only favored by 3 points. The Saints looked terrible. Bills, Jets. Mafia by a mile. Seahawks, Steelers. This one is a sneaky pick for game of the week.
For sure.
That Seahawks squad is 2 plays away from beating the Niners. Those are a really good game to watch last week. Rams, Titans going to be terrible. Panthers, Cardinals, also terrible. We're now on the 305 slate. Broncos, Colts at 305.
I'd watch that.
That would be a solid one.
Yep.
And then Eagles, Chiefs, 325.
I'd watch that.
Only 3 afternoon games. The Sunday night game, Falcons at Vikings. Vikings minus 3.5.
Morgan and I had an in-depth conversation about if we wanted to go to this game.
Yeah.
We debated it, and we decided on not going.
There you go. And then the Monday night doubleheader at 6 o'clock local time kickoff, Bucks Texans. At 9 o'clock local kickoff, Chargers Raiders.
We're gonna get our fix on Monday,
dude. Why is that game starting at 9 o'clock? That's so brutal. That game's gonna get done at midnight local time. Past midnight local time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm staying up. Tuesday, I got my first class at.
Well, actually, I don't have classes on Tuesday. So
we're staying up to watch that, unless it sucks.
I don't know about that.
All right,
move on to high school.
Yeah, why don't we? Let's get Ethan in here. Ethan, can you hear me? There he is.
He's been waiting in the wings.
You throw a mic on there.
Yeah, well, there you go. I'll let you guys work out how you want to do that. Do that there.
Yeah.
I mean, we got nice, as you can see on mine here.
I'm gonna come over here. You should.
I'll zoom in my end here as we get to the high school football. I don't need a microphone. I'll even turn it on for you. There you go. Your mic's hot.
Awesome.
Don't say anything you can't on the radio waves.
Keep it on you for a second here.
That's what I'm planning on as I transition into high school again.
Here,
for a brief, that's the microphone that has it's taken its blue pill.
All right, I think we can work with that. Just hold it with your left hand. They're not gonna be able to see it.
You guys ready to rock over there?
So, yeah.
There we go. Look at that. What a show!
You talk a little closer to the mic.
To transition into the 7 o'clock hour. High school sports very quickly. Not a lot of movement here on the media polls. I'm just going to kind of run through them. Lincoln still number 1 at AAA. Literally no movement over there. Double A is interesting because Pierre got upset by Hurons.
Wait,
to the number 4, which I mean, and now Huron
that's like I don't even know how to put that into it. That's like Cologne beating
Avon.
Yes. Or Cologne beating Wall. I'd say that's probably the equivalent there.
Yeah, Huron's solid, but Pierre just might not have it, and Pierre's gonna have a tough test again this week, if I remember correctly. Class 11A, still no change. I guess Del Rapids did get upset by Madison, but they moved down once. You did call that one, which irks me because I had it the other way. 11B, Elk Point Jefferson, still number 1 over there.
Which I don't know how you voted, But
Point Jefferson won.
You did? Yeah. See, I don't know about that. I don't know.
Here's the deal. They didn't lose.
Right.
And they fumbled 3 times in that
fair.
game against MVP, or 2 or 3, if I recall correctly from my insider info. So I still had him number 1. Wagner still at 2. St. Thomas More still at 3. Winner 4. Sioux Valley 5. Winner plays Point and Jefferson this week in Winner. That'll be an interesting one.
Absolutely. One thing of note, I think Mobridge Pollock might be a contender to get in the semis this year, Cole.
Really?
Yes.
Interesting. Didn't you pick against them last week?
I did. Stop. Okay.
And then they got
they
50'd Miller.
Isn't that crazy, man? I've never had that happen to me.
That's insane. That is insane. Freeman Marion Freeman Academy bumps up to number 1 in Class 9 AA as they defeated Elkton Lake Benton decently handily by a couple of touchdowns.
And they still get a first place vote. Is that you?
Which no, I have voted Hamlin every week.
I think Hamlin's legit.
I think so too. Other than that, really no change. 9A, Wall with 24 first place votes, Warner with 1 first place vote. I wonder who that idiot that keeps voting for Warner is. I don't think Wall's legit. Look, we went through their schedule a little bit ago, yesterday. Maybe you texted me about it.
I texted you late last night.
Wall plays nobody. I mean, nobody.
It's the worst schedule in all the classes.
That is the easiest schedule throughout the all 7 classes.
Why don't they give them at least one?
And I will debate a Wall. Monday doubleheaders, thumbs down. Yep, I agree, Bryce. Can Vermilion win the rest of their home games like they did on Friday? You won't see that kind of game the rest of the year, Bryce. I apologize for that. It was a 55-0 win over Lakota Tech. If you know, you know.
See what Joey has to say about it. Come on.
I should. I don't have a class with him. You should.
I do. I'll ask him.
Class 9B, Sully Buttes 1, Avon 2, St. Mary's 3. I think I had Avon.
Where do you have St. Mary's at in yours?
They look right here. I went Avon 1, Sully 2, St. Mary's 3, Alton 4, Harriet 5.
I like St. Mary's more than I like Avon right now.
Well, here's the deal. They haven't played anybody yet. So that's my thing is like, I mean, you got to win your way up.
Sure, but I mean, they've dominated teams that they should be dominating. But I think that is a team that could see their way at number 1.
I think so too.
We still got 7 minutes, Cole. Look at us.
I mean, yeah, we got all kinds of time. Bryce, I heard Vermilion football. You want to go up to Millbank with me next week? No. Yeah. No, 3 weeks. 3 weeks. Because they're at Canton. We're not doing that game. Next week is their homecoming, so don't mess that up, Bryce. They host Madison for their homecoming. Don't mess that up. And then they travel to Millbank. It's a 3-hour drive from right here. It'll be a 6-hour round trip.
It's terrible.
Yeah, that's pretty much the entire high school. Cole. Chuck?
I think we should.
We've got time. What are you thinking?
I think we should get to our last segment and just see what this Ethan says about our picks from last week and then our picks this week.
Bryce, I do need a producer. Actually, that's why I'm asking.
Get the graphic up.
Here we go. Bang! Look at that. There's our standings. Those actually are not correct. I am actually 3-3. I just did not have the time to change that. I went 3-3 last week. Yeah, Charlie went 4-2. Here's our actual picks.
That Miller pick should count as 2 losses. That was bad.
It should. You should have went. You should have went 4-3 last week. I had Lincoln over O'Gorman in high school. Del Rapids, of course, got upset by Madison. I counted both of our Iowa State games as wins because when we took them, it was 3.5. They closed at 2.5. So I was like, you know what, whatever. And at Montana State, I said the not true line, the projected line was 9. They only got 3.5, and they lost by 6. Or they lost by 7. No, 8.
Sure. I remember watching the end. I don't remember the score.
Because they scored a touchdown, and they had to score the 2-point, and they did. And they had the Chargers and the Packers correct. So, solid start for me, 500. That's going to go severely downhill as the year goes on, and then I'm going to have a late comeback in the spring for basketball and win again. I believe we are 1-1 actually.
Yeah, because the year before I wiped the floor, and last year you wiped the floor.
Yeah, you destroyed me 2 years ago and I won last.
And I was picking dogs because I was bored.
You were. I was struggling. I was scrapping together, trying to just get wins, and yeah, you just wiped the floor. Absolutely wiped the floor. What are your picks? I gotta stand up.
So last week I had Miller over Mobridge Pollock. Talked about that. I thought Miller was legit after their first 2 games, and I got humbled by Mobridge Pollock. Mobridge Pollock, according to the media, now the 6th best team in the state in Class 11B. Then Madison over Del Rapids. I don't know why I chose that, and looking back, I don't think I should have chosen that.
You should.
Nothing to me said that was going to happen, other than I wanted to take something opposite from Cole, just in spite.
Yep.
And that's why I chose.
You know what's crazy about that? Del Rapids has been my number 1 vote in the media poll the last 3 weeks. They just got upset. I was the only one voting Del Rapids number 1.
You're like that lady on the AP poll today, or do you see that?
No. You cannot compare me to that. Listen. USF. So backstory for this: there's an AP poll voter. USF defeated Florida. She moved Florida up 3 spots, and USF is still unranked on her ballot.
And she said,
she gave a
paraphrasing, that she's doing it off of vibes, and she has a vote in the AP poll.
Correct.
This is a true statement. There's a video about it, and she recently made her X/Twitter account private.
She did.
I wonder why.
She's an AP voter, Ethan.
That's insane.
So that means that she is. That means that she is getting a vote over some people. I saw a post that said Timothy Shellman should have an AP vote after this. But anyway,
I could agree with that.
There are multiple individuals, specifically Midwest journalists, who should have AP votes, in my opinion, and she has one. But I think the AP votes are due partially off popularity, second off of like users/consumers for that specific media entity.
Yeah.
So she is somehow the sports section. She picks up vibes. That's crazy. And so that makes the AP poll a little bit less respectable. And then my other pick for my college picks, we did Iowa State, Iowa, and then I had USF plus 17.5 over number 13, Florida. Cole and Caden both told me in the car the other day that was dumb. That was never happening. USF won the ball game.
I don't think I said it was dumb.
Okay, Caden said it was dumb. You just said that.
I said I don't see it happening, I guess, and then it happened.
I could have put money on that.
Listen, are they still? Hang on, is it still 17.5 for this week?
Yes, that's the active line.
How are they 17.5 underdogs against Miami?
I don't know. Miami's good though. Ethan, what do you think, or what are your thoughts on USF? That is the University of South Florida. Have you watched any bowl football?
I have. I watched a few of the clips on Instagram and TikTok, and that quarterback is a dog.
He is.
Yeah. He is insane.
According to CF Budge, a guy I like to watch on TikTok, you probably know who he is.
Yep.
CF Budge claims that, I don't remember if it's their quarterback or their running back, who is one of the higher guys in the odds, according to him, to win the Heisman. And that's pretty cool to have
a quarterback, right?
I think so.
Yeah.
So that's pretty cool. Go Bulls. I'm riding the USF train right now. You're going to see that in a moment when we get to our picks. And then when we go to NFL, talked about earlier in the show, Ethan, when I ride the Vikings and I get it right, I ride the train until it falls off the rails, and I'm riding it so far. My other pick was the Buccaneers over Atlanta. I liked that one all the way. And that's kind of how I went. Cole went perfect as well in the NFL. Cole, let's move this along. We can get Ethan's opinions here, and we can let him get his show on at 7 o'clock. There's no one behind you, so you should be able to yap as long as you want.
Awesome. That's good news.
That is true. Yes, let's go to this week's picks. Again, I'm 3-3. Charlie is 4-2. I've got in 11 AA, number 1 Sioux Falls Christian over number 2 Lennox. I don't think this game is going to be particularly close, and it's going to show the skill gap between Sioux Falls Christian and everybody else in Class 11A. Listen, Lennox is a very good team, but Sioux Falls Christian is insane. I mean, they're really good in every single sport, but they are going to dominate in this game.
Game of the week, right here, in my opinion, next.
And I've got Warner over Faulkton. I don't think this one's going to be terribly close either, because Warner is insane. I mean, there's a reason I'm voting him number 1. Faulkton's solid. They lost to they took a ranked loss in week 1, which was kind of tough.
Yeah.
but that's the reason they're number 4 and not because they were number 2 in the preseason. But that's my high school picks.
Guy from Great Plains Lutheran last week, we were talking about some stuff when they were up a long way. Said that he thought that Warner's offensive line was the best in 9-man.
And people think I don't know ball for voting him number 1.
My high school picks. I have number 4 Hill City over receiving votes Harding County Bison. Why do I pick this? Because we have a cabin in Hill City and I feel like it.
There you go.
My other pick.
Are you picking off of vibes?
I am picking off of vibes right there. Has really nothing to do with either of the teams. Also, the bartender at Silver Dollar, the nice guy with the beard, he's really high on the Hill City Rangers. So shout out to Hill City Saloon, by the way.
There you go.
I'm gonna send this to him. And then I have number 5 Huron over number 2 T. Ride the wave. I'm with the Tigers.
Yeah, right. Riding the momentum. College football picks for me: Arizona over Kansas State. They are underdogs hosting Kansas State on Friday. Arizona will beat the living dog bleep out of them, in my opinion, in my humble opinion. But of course, I don't know ball, so
of course.
And then I've got Georgia's going to cover Tennessee. I see this being a 10-point ball game.
I have number 18 USF plus 17.5 over Miami, and then I have the Gophers, the Minnesota Golden Gophers, minus 2.5 over Cal in Big Ten play. Ethan, how do you feel about those picks from Cole and I?
I actually really like them. I'm with you guys on every single one of them. In particular, I like the Arizona over Kansas State.
Like that. The only pick I don't like is the
I've been in the lab.
No, here's the deal. I don't listen. It's a late game. It's gonna be a 9:00 central kick for Minnesota at California. Cal's a decent team. Here's the deal. You're either going to lose to Cal or you're going to lose to UCLA. That's how the Big Ten's going to go this year, especially for like Minnesota or Nebraska. This one's going to be a very tough test for Minnesota. If they can get past them, though, I see big things ahead for the Golden Gophers.
There's a lot of people high on Cal, too, but I liked it. I'm going to take it. NFL really quickly. I got the Colts over the Broncos plus 1.5. Yes, I do. And then the Vikings minus 3.5 over the Falcons, as I mentioned earlier.
I've got Broncos to beat the Colts, and I'm scratching the second one. I'm going with the Chargers to defeat the Raiders by more.
I like that. I like that. Did I talk you into it over the show? And like the offensive line with the Raiders.
No, I was just like I've contemplated because I saw it. I'm like, do I want to take the risky pick in the Eagles? I still think the Eagles are going to win, but I'm taking the Chargers as my pick of the week.
Ethan, thoughts on those NFL picks?
I don't know why you have the Colts over the Broncos.
Thank you.
Respectfully, I'm a Dolphins fan. I watched the Colts beat the absolute crap out of the Dolphins, and I still don't think the Colts are that good. I think that just shows how bad Miami is this year. And I think that the Broncos game was just a fluke, and I think Bo Nix will bounce back.
There you go.
No Bix.
There you go.
All right.
Charlie, wrap this thing up, shall we?
Yeah, let's get out of here. Appreciate you tuning in to the CharCole Sports Show on KAOR 91.1 FM Vermilion, South Dakota. Cole Larsch, Ethan Ladke, Charlie Prien. Ethan Ladke up next. Ethan, plug your show while you're here.
Tune into the Locker Room Sports Show just after this.